This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? We greatly appreciate it. Come on in, make yourself at home. You know the routine. This week, believe it or not, takes me to Big Lots. Don't foresee Big Lots being open too much longer. It kind of looks like a wide open Family Dollar just with how they're stocking it. And their movie collection is getting smaller. They're not adding to it. And talked to one of the cashiers there. I guess they're not getting more movies in, so these are 50% off. So I was actually able to snag a couple, one 4K and one Shout Factory anime movie on Blu-ray. So I was actually able to find something. But before I get into what I picked up, along with my Big Lot pickups, I have my 3D pick for the week, my Kino Lover pick, have some banger Blu-ray, so stick around. But before I get into that, not only do I collect movies, yes, one of these weird, wild individuals, I actually watch them. And on a weekly basis, I like to share some of the things I've watched, either streaming on the Fire Stick, live in the theater with my family, or actual physical media. And I'm going to kick it off with some physical media. This is the 1976 horror science fiction film, Dr. Black, Mr. Hyde. This was directed by William Crane, produced by Manfred Bernard, written by Larry LeBron. This stars Bernie Casey, Rosalind Cash, Marie O'Henry, Jetu Chumbuka, Milt Kogan. The plot behind this: a doctor, played by Bernie Casey, in a Watts clinic takes his own medicine and becomes a monstrous white killer of hookers. And this is during the Black exploitation period, and of course it kind of plays on the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde horror things. Is that Robert Louis Stevenson or H.G. Wells? Can't remember who actually wrote the original story though, but it plays on that though. It just kind of has that Black exploitation feel to it. Cinematography is not great. Special effects are kind of laughable though, but it's a fun movie, and they did more with less. Bernie Casey is an ex-football player, so I think he's like 6'5". So most of the shots we see him as Dr. Black, he's sitting down, so he doesn't look as menacing. That when he turns into Mr. Hyde, he's standing up and he towers over everyone also. But it's a fun 70s low budget sci-fi film. So if you like that, especially during the Black exploitation period, definitely check out Dr. Black, Mr. Hyde. My next film is something I watched streaming. This is the 2025 American mystery horror film, Weapons. This was directed, written, and produced by Zach Krieger. This stars Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, Alden Ehrenreich, Austin Abrams, Kerry Christopher, Toby Huss, Benedict Wong, Amy Madigan. The plot behind this: an unidentified child narrator explains that on a Wednesday 2 years previously in the fictional town of Maybrook, Pennsylvania, 17 children from elementary school teacher Justine Gandy's third grade class suddenly ran from their homes at 2:17 a.m. and disappeared. Only one student, Alex Lilly, remained. And this is a really cool horror film. It's horror. I like thinking of it more as a sci-fi kind of slant to it, though. But it is, I guess, characterized as horror, though. But it's not scary, though. But it's very interesting, and the way they tell the story is from three different perspectives of three different characters, and it really kind of feels like a Stephen King story. It's just like all of a sudden these kids just disappear at the same time. So interesting plot, nice little twist. The ending was a little strange and almost seemed a little comical at the end though, but still very solid horror film. It's something different. That's what I love about watching different movies instead of watching the same old slasher possession movie. Something a little different. So that's exactly what this is. So definitely check out Weapons. My next film, some physical media I picked up, I believe, at Cash America. This is the the 2007 crime horror thriller film P2. This was directed by Frank Calfone, produced and written by Alexandra Aja, he's done some directed other films, really cool films. This stars Wes Bentley, Ralph Nichols, Simon Reynolds, Philip Akin, and Stephanie Moore. The plot behind this: a businesswoman finds herself locked with an unhinged security guard in a parking garage after getting stuck working late on Christmas Eve. And it's kind of like a stalker movie, so it all takes place in a parking lot. That's why they call it P2. They did a decent job of holding the suspense, especially when you only have a limited amount of characters and it's in a pretty much set surrounding a parking lot. So great suspense, decent action, and a pretty interesting storyline. So, and again, for mid-level horror thriller, did a great job. 2007 P2. My last film is the 2025 American superhero film Superman. This was directed and written by James Gunn, also produced by James Gunn and Peter Safran. This stars David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Eddie Gahegi, Anthony Kerrigan, Nathan Fillion, Isabel Merced. I'm sure I just killed those people's names. But the plot behind this particular Superman movie: Clark Kent Superman stops the nation of Boravia from invading the neighboring country of, looks like it's Jahanpur, and warns Boravia's president to leave Jahanpur alone. In Metropolis, Superman is defeated for the first time by a metahuman called the Hammer of Boravia and flees to his fortress of solitude in the Antarctica with the help of his super-powered dog Crypto. And I'll just break it down to the two major Superman actors prior to this one, Henry Cavill and Christopher Reeve. I really enjoyed those Superman movies more than this one. This was fun, but it seemed more like Saturday morning Super Friends, and maybe that's what they were going for. But the heroes, the villains just didn't do it for me. For me, the best movies, whether they be action movies, horror movies, or superhero movies, the villain or the antagonist has to be just as interesting or as intriguing as the hero or the protagonist. You either have to love to hate them, or you have to have some amount of empathy for why they are the way they are. Perfect example, Man of Steel with Henry Cavill, Michael Shannon playing the role of Zod. I actually like Zod in that. Zod was genetically designed to protect Krypton and the people of Krypton. He had no choice in it. That was his mission in life. And with that, you kind of have a certain amount of empathy. With these characters, they just kind of seemed the Lex Luthor just seemed like a really watered down Lex Luthor, but still like the movie. It looked great. Wish I could have seen it in 3D. I don't think it'll be released on 3D on a physical copy though, but keep my fingers crossed, but not holding my breath. And they're already talking about a sequel to this, which is very surprising since Black Adam, which I thought was a better movie, didn't get a sequel. Everybody kind of crapped on that. So potatoes, everyone has their own opinion though, but definitely a fun movie. Now, with that being said, without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink of a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. We're back at the Black Cave. Back at the Black Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. Have my pickups here from Big Lots at their 50% off kind of clearance sale. Have some horror pictures, some horror pickups here. Have a Criterion collection, an Arrow distributor. Have a 4K Steelbook here. My 3D horror pick for the week, as well as my classic Kino Lober pick for the week. So I have some bangers in here. Let me get these scanned in and we'll jump right into it. Hold on. I'm going to kick it off with what I picked up at Big Lots here. Have some anime, The Wonderland. This is a Shout Factory release. And of course I have my Wesley Snipes here, my AK, the original blade, my Billy Bob Thornton, my sling blade here. And we have, oh, looks like a little poster here. No, it's a booklet, not a poster. Interesting. And of course, for Shout Factory, we have the artwork on the back. Not sure what that is. Not sure if that's a tree root or some kind of serpent. But we have the DVD and the Blu-ray. And this is a blind buy, I haven't seen this. And my other pickup at Big Lots, I have this on Blu-ray. So for the 4K, definitely worth the upgrade here. Song to Song. And that's Ryan Gosling, Natalie Portman, Michael Fassbender, and I'm guessing this is Rooney Mara. And this is a broad green release. The 4K and the Blu-ray. And for these two pickups at Big Lots with their 50% off sale, I paid a whopping $6.97, basically $7. So for a 4K and a Blu-ray, not a bad deal. Next, let's go with something I picked up on a combination of eBay and Amazon. I believe this is an eBay pick. Robert Redford, Jeremiah Johnson. I haven't seen this in years. It's a Warner Brothers release. Jeremiah Johnson. Next, this is one I picked up from Hamilton Book. Super Beast. Just an okay sci-fi movie. It's a Screen Factory MGM release. Started out really good, then it just kind of tapered off at the end. It got a little slow at the end. Super Beast. It's a classic. I haven't seen this in years. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Annabella Sciorra. Rebecca De Mornay. And this is... Who's this? I can't read that. Is it Universal? No, it's not Universal. I actually can't read who the distributor is, so I believe this might be going out of print, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Vinegar Syndrome, Shout Factory, Severin, someone like that picks it up. It's a classic. And if you know the distributor, let me know. Looks like Millennium, but I can't tell. The writing's too small. My eyes are getting bad as I get older. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Next, we have a Criterion collection. This is such a twisted movie. Lars von Trier, Antichrist. Not be confused with the Kino Lober Antichrist. This is Willem Dafoe, and this is just a really, really twisted movie. It's almost like a psychological thriller slash horror with some, it's like torture porn in there. So very interesting. It's one of those movies is kind of like watching an a car accident, a horrific car accident that you can't look away from. Criterion Collection, Antichrist. Next we have an Arrow Video Reanimator. Been looking for this for a while. This is classic horror. The Reanimator. And like Shout Factory, Arrow has this reversible art. I believe that's the original artwork right there for the Reanimator. Great cult classic. I haven't watched this in years, so I might be watching this in the next couple of days. My 4K Steelbook, Marvel Studios WandaVision. Picked this up at Amazon used. That's why it doesn't have the J card, but it still has the little collectible cards here. Have the artwork on the back. And disc 2 and disc 4 and 4K. Be interested to see if they're going to have a second season of this. So it was very good. I was actually surprised. Started out a little strange though, but ended up being very interesting, very entertaining. WandaVision, the complete series, the first season. Next, my classic Kino Lobo pick for the week, Whoopi Goldberg and The Associate. Diane West, Tim Daly, Eli Wallace, Bibi Nuret. That's a Kino Lobo pick, and I'll probably talk about this one of the videos I watched for the week though. Very entertaining, but extremely ironic movie, especially with one of the guest appearances in there, but I'll probably discuss this in one of my videos for the week though, The Associate. And my 3D pick for the week, the Thompsons 3D. This is one of those German conversion 3Ds. It's hit or miss with these. Some of them are pretty decent, some of them kind of suck. So I haven't had a chance to peep this one out though, but I love the Thompsons. This was a sequel to the low-budget horror film, The Hamiltons. So not quite as good as The Hamiltons, but still a good follow-up movie to an independent horror film like that. And this is my Big Lots, eBay, Amazon, Hamilton book pickup for the week. If you're familiar with the channel, this is where I separate the artwork from the plastic and the disc so I can make room. A couple of these will actually make the shelf, so let me get these situated and get you good people on your way. Hold on. I have almost everything scanned into my CLZ Movies app. C is in Cabin Boy, L is in Low Down Dirty Shame, Z is in Zombie World. Only thing that didn't scan in was WandaVision because I don't have the J card. I put that in manually. Let's see if that shows up. Yeah, I put that in manually. So let's knock this out. I have everything laid out, ready to be put back in its proper place. As usual, I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, leaving comments. If you made it this far, smash the like, give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you check out my Saturday collection videos. Saturday, same place, same time. Same place, same time. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone, please be safe. Deuces.